Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have some campfire stories that I would like to tell you. They're very short, so let's get into this. Let's see here, I tried filming this like just a few minutes ago, and it told me that I could not do an X amount of time, so we're gonna try and do this within 12 minutes. So we're gonna see and try this. Okay, so I'm gonna tell maybe 5 of these stories. So let's start from the clown statue. Okay, I've heard of this, so I also tell my girls this all the time every year. So a babysitter has been hired to watch the 2 children for the night. After she puts the kids to bed, the parents ask that she watches TV in their bedroom down upstairs because the children have been having nightmares recently. She puts the kids to bed easily enough, and settles into the parents' room to watch TV. But in the corner of the room, there's a large, creepy clown statue, about life-sized. She tries to ignore it, but it's just too creepy. Girl, I feel you. Finally, she calls the dad to ask if she can watch TV downstairs instead. Sure. But why? He asks. She tells him that the clown statue is just creeping her out too much. Again, me. There's a pause. Get the children and leave the house, says the dad. We don't have a clown statue. I would literally be I would go up to it and kind of look at it to analyze it, and then I'd take pictures of it to see if it was actually there, and if it was, then I would call the parents. But honestly, that's just me investigating, because I can never trust anything like that. I'd still be very, very creepy. I would still be creeped the heck out to the point of no return. This one I've heard of, and honestly, I'm so sorry for going like this, but I'm using my phone to tell these stories, and I can't go like this because I can't read them. So I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. The next story is The Hitchhiker. Now, this one is pretty famous. I've also heard of this one as well, but that's just because I read it, because I was trying to film earlier, but it obviously didn't work. So this one is The Vanishing Hitchhiker. Might be the most famous campfire story of all time. A couple is I'm sorry, there's a lot of typos in this, so I might be pausing. A couple is driving late at night when they notice a girl hitchhiking. They pick her up, and she thanks them profusely and gives them a nearby address. They drive her home, trying to make polite conversation, but after a few minutes, the girl falls silent. The driver asks if they've reached the right intersection, but they turn to the back seat, and the girl is gone. She vanished without a trace. When they reach the address she gave them, an elderly couple greets them at the door. They don't know of any girl, but their own daughter was killed in a car accident many years ago, just a few miles up the road. This one is creepy beyond belief, mainly because I could see this happening in real life, and it has happened a few times. I've heard of a few stories in the US, I've heard a few stories in Mexico, like the Weeping Woman in Mexico. I've heard of that. Mainly through Haley Reese's channel. So yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch her. She's awesome. So I think I've heard of this one too. It's called Doggy Lick. A girl is just a little afraid of the dark. So every night her dog sleeps under her bed. When she's afraid, she puts her hand down, and her dog licks it to reassure her. One night, she wakes to hear a strange dripping sound. She puts her hand down and feels a dog lick it. So she feels better and goes back to sleep. The next morning, she wakes to find the body of her dog hanging in the middle of the room, dripping blood. Yeah, I definitely heard of this. On the wall, someone has written, "Humans can look too." Okay, so this one's called The Ribbon. A man marries his beloved, a beautiful young woman who always wears a black velvet ribbon around her. I think I've heard of this one too. Jeez, I've heard of all of these. If you have heard of all these, thumbs this up, because that would be amazing. I have heard of most of these. Wears a black velvet ribbon around her neck. On their wedding night, he asks why she never takes the ribbon off. "If I do, you'll be sorry," she says, and goes to sleep. Night after night, he keeps asking, but she always gives him the same reply. He begins to go mad with curiosity. I would too, to be perfectly honest. I would honestly be so curious and like ask her and probably rip it off myself. But yeah. Finally one night, while she's sleeping, he steals the scissors from her sewing box and cuts through the ribbon himself. The black ribbon falls away, and her head rolls right off her neck and falls to the floor with a sickening thud. Oh my gosh, regardless if I know this or not, this is terrifying. The last one is the high beams. I don't think I've ever heard of this one. A young woman is driving home late one night when she notices a truck driving up directly behind her. No one else is on the road. Sorry, they say one, and I don't know what that means. On the road. She waits for the truck to pass her, but instead it stays directly behind her and flashes its high beams. She becomes unsettled no matter how fast she drives or which back road she heads down. The truck stays close behind her. I don't think I've ever heard of this one. Like I said, flashing its high beams every few minutes. Terrified, she speeds home with the truck right on her tail and pulls into her driveway. She leaps out of her car and tries to run to her front door. But the truck driver gets out too, and he's holding a gun. He points the gun in her direction and shoots. The woman screams, but the bullet wasn't for her. She turns to see the body of a man fall out of the back seat of her car. Clutching a butcher's knife, the shaken truck driver explains that he noticed the man in the back seat of her car and was trying to signal to her every time the man raised his knife to stab her. He flashed his high beams. That is a good Samaritan right there. That is a good man. Honestly, that would terrify me so much, but that is a good person right there. Honestly, like, oh my gosh, I can't say honestly enough, but seriously, that guy saved her life. Like, I would give him a hug and be like, do you want dinner? Do you want food? Like, what do you want? Do you want money? Like, who are you? Why are you my guardian angel? And yeah, like, people like that are sent to this world to save us, to give us a signal, to give us messages and stuff like that. So I definitely believe in those people. So I'm very happy that we ended on this note. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs this up. Also, comment below if you noticed anything or if you heard of any of these stories, because I sure have. If you're one of the girls, hi, I haven't told you one of these stories yet, and I'm sorry, but you heard it here first. Anyway, if you want to, there's a beautiful red button down below. You can hit and join the party. It's totally up to you though. I'm not forcing your hand to do anything you don't want to. Also, right next to it is a notification bell. You can ring my bell and be notified of anything I post on this video or anything I post on this channel. Anyway, I love you guys. Stay beautiful and positive and do something magical.
Bye.